Hey, what's up, everybody? Dr. Andersen again with with Whiplash Center of Utah in St. George, Utah. And today I'm going to break down the top 5 reasons why making sure that you get your children checked if they've ever been into a crash is vital. Okay? So number one, the crash can actually alter the positioning of a bone of a child. Now, a child's bones are incredibly soft. As they grow and they get older. In fact, by the time that they turn 14, the bones are still actually changing shape. They are growing. That's why you kids have growing pains. Their end plates don't actually solidify in their bones until about age 14. So any type of an impact at that point can create a problem. An alteration to a structure as a child will actually create an alteration within their long-term status. So it could be a long-term problem. So if we can correct and change the positioning of the bones, then that means the amount of weight and bearing that goes onto these bones can alter as well. So that's number one. Number two, this is probably the bigger one. Children do not present symptoms the same way that adults do. And if they do have the symptom, they don't know exactly what to do with it. They can't, or they usually don't come right out and say, I hurt, or I have a headache, or I'm not able to do this, or I'm not able to do that. What typically happens with a child is that they become emotional. They're more tearful, they cry more, they lash out, they become aggressive. They actually have bigger issues in terms of how they interact socially with other people. They present differently. And so if a child has an injury or a pain, and they're not saying that I have a headache or my neck hurts, but yet they're sleeping completely different. They're angry. They are crying. They're more needy. They're more latched on to the parent. These are little indicators that says that the child has something that's bigger that's going on within their life. So that would be the second thing, the second reason behind why you need to get your children checked. Number three, the third thing is that a miserable child makes for a miserable parent. And I don't mean that the child for the rest of their life and when they become a parent becomes miserable. I'm talking about you, the parent themselves. If your kid is chronically crying and angry and mean, it is going to take a toll on you. So a miserable child makes for a miserable parent. So that's a little thing for you to make sure that your kids are doing better so that you can do better. So just keep that in mind. Number 4, their relationships with others will suffer. And I kind of touched a little bit back that on how a child presents in symptoms. But when we start talking about the actual child's relationship with others that are around them, it starts to suffer because they are becoming a little bit more angry, or maybe they're becoming violent. The other kids are not going to want to be around them. Siblings are going to want to avoid them. They may actually start fighting back. So your kid may get into a little bit of altercations a little bit down the road. So that's another reason why you want your children to have the best in life, or at least I hope you do. And if there's anything that's going to prevent them from having a good social life, if they get hurt, they don't want to deal with it. So that's the 4th thing. Number 5, and this is probably bigger for their own personal development, is that their schooling and their education is going to suffer as well. I've had a number of patients that have been in crashes that are in school, and when they get to school, they can't focus. Their ability to concentrate on what the teacher is saying is very much hindered. And the other side to it is that they can't concentrate. Their head hurts, and so they completely disengage. So those are the 5 things that should be enough of a reason for you as the parent to make sure that your children get checked as well. It's not just an adult problem. It's a children's problem as well. So those are the top 5. Now, one of the things that I've recently put together is I've put together kind of more of a checklist or a cheat sheet, if you will, to help the person understand why the symptoms that they're having is happening. Where is it coming from? And so if this is something that you would like to have, it's totally free. I put it together. It's a 1-page PDF. I'm going to put the link in the description above. And just click on that. It'll take you to where you can download that link, and gives you a little bit of a reference point so you can make a good decision of whether the symptoms that you're experiencing is a serious problem. Now, this is not an inclusive list. This is something that will just kind of give you a guideline, something to gauge everything upon. Also, if you do not have your crash packet, just kind of give you an idea. This is the crash packet here. This goes into your glove box. It's another one of those gifts that I've given to you. It's completely free of charge. If you do not have one, please come into the office and pick one up. They really are your saving grace. Or if you're ever involved in a crash, you don't have to try to remember all the different things you need to do. And once again, that's my gift to you. It's totally free. And if you have more than one vehicle, then you need to get one for each of your vehicles. If you give them to everybody that you know, then we may actually reach my objective of trying to get one in every glove box in southern Utah. And I would greatly appreciate it. In fact, I think you would find greater value in it than I would. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, comment below. If you like what you see, please do me a favor and just click the share button. I just need this information to be sent out to as many people as you know. Sharing gets that to go a lot faster.